Hey YouTubers, I just wanted to make a video today of basically just a little tour of my shop. I'm still working on it, trying to get it all cleaned up and ready. I've painted and I've hung up my pictures and I've got a Nova, so that's why I've got all Nova pictures and Chevrolet stuff. But I like everything. But anyways, I been trying to get it ready and get it all cleaned up so I can start doing some work in here, and just got through painting it. It took me a while to get all this painted. Boy, it was a pain in the butt to have to paint all this, but I finally got it done, and got my toys in here. Got my 70 Nova with a 3D 3-stroker in it, and hopefully before I'm dead I can ride in this thing. Hopefully. It's taken me forever, but anyways, basically I just wanted to do a little quick walk around. My shop's kind of messy today. I've had it picked up better than this, but I had some company come over a few weeks ago. We just got married, and you know, this is where we had part of our reception party. But basically that's most of it. I gotta get my Cox hose reels hung up. I run into a real good bargain on these, and you know, I got them brand new, and I think I paid like $88 a piece for the reels, and then I had to buy the hose. But normally these, just for the reels, they're like $320 a piece, so I did really good on these. But anyways, I'll show you the rest of the shop. I walk into this other room here. Turn the light on. This is basically my storage room. I've just, you know, I've got it decorated up a little bit, but it's mostly just my storage stuff and just stuff that I have left over from doing jobs and stuff I've done through the years, and extra stuff that I collect and all that. So yeah, I try to keep a bunch of extra fluids on hand. Buy them when they're cheap, because Lord knows they're not cheap when you have to buy them when you don't need them, or when you do need them. But anyways, this is my latest and greatest thing that I've added to my collection. It's actually a Champion air compressor. I was really excited about getting it. I wanted something that was considered to be American made, but as everybody knows these days, it's hard to find anything that's completely American made anymore. I was expecting to have a ball door motor on it, because that's what it shows on their website. It shows like, it don't say ball door on it, but it's what a lot of them come with ball door, and that's what the end of the motor housing looks like in all their pictures. Well, when this one was delivered, well, long story, they delivered like 3 or 4 of them, and each time they sent me the wrong one. It was the wrong compressor, or it was the wrong motor, because I needed 230 volt single phase electricity, and they kept sending me like 3-phase, or they would send the 208 voltage and it would be single phase, and it wouldn't work with 230. So anyways, after fighting with them, the first compressor had a ball door motor on it. Then they tried switching me to a WEG, and then now, with the very last time, I called and complained, and they sent me the right compressor out. They finally sent this one, and it has a piece of crap Marathon on it. You know, I was expecting a ball door, you know, an American made, or close to an American made motor as I could, and I got this thing, and it just kind of looks cheap to me. So, kind of disappointed, but it is what it is. I don't think Champion will really do anything about it, but anyways, it's the 7.5 horsepower single phase 230 model. It's a beast. It sounds really good. I put a thermometer up here to kind of tell me if it's getting hot. I've got a fan mounted right here on the shelf that kind of blows up through the back of it, because I actually did get the compressor that's got the big upgrade on it. It's got the aftermarket after cooler on it, And believe you me, when you turn this thing on, that fan that's mounted on the crank of the pump, it puts out a lot of air. And I'm really happy with how much air it puts out. It blows through those cooling fins and keeps it pretty cool. But I figure, well, you know, if it's in here in this little room and it's 84 degrees right now and 63 degrees humidity, I figured the least I could do is help and put a fan blowing on the motor and try to get as much airflow in here as I can. I eventually might put a maybe an AC unit maybe in that window, you know, if I'm doing sandblasting or painting a car or something where the compressor is going to be running for a long time. That'd be cool, just to drop the temperature in here and give it some cool dry air. And as you can see, I run my little snake down to it and to my disconnect or my magnetic starter, and then from my magnetic starter back to my disconnect box. I tried to put everything up to code, and I run my conduit up to the ceiling and everything. And anyways, that's my story on my compressor. And I actually just got through restoring this whole room. I painted this whole room. There were so many nooks and crannies and all the shelves and all this, and it was just a ton of stuff to paint. It took forever. But this cabinet here was here when I moved in, and it was an old just wood color, and it was all scratched up, and the gold knobs was on it. So I took those off and put some stainless knobs on it, trying to make it look a little nicer in here. And, you know, try to get everything nice and organized and neat, you know, the best you can for a shop. But anyways, I'm happy with how it turned out. But anyways, I'll take you down here and show you my other room. I call it my paint booth because the guy used to paint cars, and this is where he painted them at. Now it's kind of turned into a woodworking shop, but I do have air plumbed in here, so one day I'll be able to paint my car in here when I get it done. I just hadn't got it hooked up, but there's my air supply coming in. But here's the rest of the room. As you can see, I've got my Ridgid sander and my Craftsman high-speed polisher and my Ridgid vacuum and big Ridgid table saw and my big Ridgid dual compound miter saw and with a stand, and you know, just got a bunch of junk stored in here, some car parts, and then I got another room in there, and it's just full of car parts and stuff for sale. And anyways, long story short, but I just painted this entire room, and the guy that lived here left those cabinets there, so I redid those and mounted them up next to the trim, and in fact I had to redo all the trim. He had a dog in here that ate everything up, so I went around the room and just replaced every bit of the trim. And anyways, it turned out pretty good, or at least I think it did. It serves its purpose. But anyways, hopefully I'm gonna be able to get my car in here and paint it one day. Save me a lot of money. Oh, there's my wife's kayak. I've got a fan in here. But anyways, back to the main garage. I wanted to show you what I did with my Ridgid Tools. I'm a big Ridgid Tool fan. I love Ridgid Tools. I started buying them many years ago just because it turned me on to the fact that their lifetime warranty on their tools, but also their lifetime warranty on their batteries if you buy them within a kit. Well, let me back up. Let me show you this. This is a set of cabinets the guy left. These cabinets were ugly. They were painted like yellow and white and red, and they had stripes all over them. And the breaker box cover was a different color. So I painted all of it, put different knobs on it, painted it this gray, and run my conduit over. I've got a Power MIG 255 welder over here. So I run all that and wired it up. But as you can see, I am a Ridgid nut. I've got the Ridgid wireless or cordless vacuum, and I have the Ridgid drill press as well. I've had that thing for years. I think that was one of my first Ridgid things that I bought. But now we're going to go back over and show you the Big Daddy. Well, here she is. Here's the top of my cabinet. I took and put all my Ridgid bags and my Ridgid radio and all that up top. My nailers and routers and all that stuff that it's hard to, stuff you don't use every day, but you don't want to get messed up. And then I put all my everyday stuff in here, you know. Then I mounted all my chargers across the back. So when you're looking for a battery, you ain't got to worry about it, because you know what? Guess what? There's a battery right there for every one of these tools. It's just as easy as walking in and pulling one off. That easy. And you know, I think I own just about everything that Ridgid makes, but I've got their you know, this line here, it's their I don't know, 12 volt. It's their little impact. It's bad. Then I got their, and I'm not saying bad to be mean bad, I'm saying bad as in good. It's an awesome little gun. Then I've got their bigger one. I think it's a 14 or 18 volt. 18 volt, that's what it is. I've got their impact in that. Got their drill in that. Got their hammer drill in that. Got their regular drill in that. We've got their flashlight, another flashlight, and they all interchange. The batteries interchange. So, moving down to the next set of cabinets, I've got my more specialty stuff. I've got my all-in-one tool, you know, and I've got my Ridgid Ridgid jigsaw, I'm sorry, and then my mini Ridgid Sawzall. That thing is amazing. I use it all the time. And then I just purchased the impact wrench. If you don't have this one and you don't have air, or if you do have air and don't want to mess with having to hook the air line up, that is the ticket. Then I bought the Ridgid grinder. It works pretty good if you have an extended life battery on it, because it does take a lot of power. But if you're out somewhere and you need it, that thing is handy. Then I have a cordless and a corded skill saw, and then of course I have all the bags down there from all the stuff that I've bought through the years. But anyways, I gotta say I love my Ridgid tools. If Ridgid wants to send me some more, please do. I would love some more tools. But anyways, I guess I'm out of here, YouTube. That's all I can think of right at the moment. I'll be coming up with some more videos. Please like them. I appreciate it. And if there's any videos you'd like to see, just let me know. Bye-bye.